A lot to get to on this Dave Day with Standard Speaker sports editor and Hazelton Area Sports Hall of Famer Dave Seaman. And Dave, my face was as red as your shirt. You had an opening question for me on this one.
I will switch gears here a little bit, and I will be the questioner here. And I know it hasn't been a particularly good week for you when you talk about your Red Sox getting beaten in the first round of the playoffs in 4 games. And the U.S. men's soccer team, I know you're a big soccer guy and probably the biggest soccer fan in the Hazelton area. You played soccer, you followed the U.S. national team for years now, and I got to ask you what's going through your mind after the team was eliminated from World Cup consideration.
The U.S. looked so good when they beat Panama a few days earlier here in the United States, Dave. And when I was growing up, when they brought the World Cup to the United States, they were going to bring in this professional soccer league, and they pretty much promised, I knew it was still far-fetched, but they said that we're going to win a World Cup within the next 20 years. And I thought, hey, but I'll see it in my lifetime. And the U.S. was making progress, advancing out of the group stages. And now to not make it, Dave, I think, is the biggest challenge the United States Soccer Federation will face. This is the biggest stage to be featured on. I know soccer has grown. There's a lot of soccer-specific stadiums here in America. Major League Soccer has become pretty popular. But if you're in the mainstream like you, like a lot of my friends, they only watch the World Cup. So that's the only exposure they're getting to United States soccer. That's not going to happen. Those sports bars are not going to be filled. It's heartbreaking, Dave, and it's unacceptable at that level. You can't lose to a team like Trinidad and Tobago. And it didn't happen just that night. The U.S. struggled all throughout qualifying. 4 teams make it from CONCACAF. It's very hard not to qualify. So again, heartbreaking, and we'll just have to see how they will recover. I want to close with this. If you want to find true feelings from soccer fans, search Taylor Twellman from ESPN. He did a great thing on ESPN FC talking about accountability in the sport, Dave. And finally, there will be a team competing in the World Cup. The U.S. women will be in 2019, and they are a lot of fun to watch. I had 3 pages on this, Dave, and I actually whittled it down because you came in later this week because you were covering tennis, Hazelton Area High School tennis, going after their first District 2/4 sub-regional championship. For the first time ever, Dave, they made it to the title round.
It was a fantastic semifinal, going down to the final match, a match with Lily Nowak involved in the Hazelton area, Sarah Sposito from North Pocono. They waged a battle for 3.5 hours, and I was there for every point. I watched every point, and first time I actually got to see a tennis match in person in quite a few years, and I was treated to a classic.
And Dave, you covered it, and you have to read Dave's article because honestly, I was sweating as I'm reading it, just the way Lily described it, the way you described it. I mean, these are some of the best athletes we've seen in the Hazelton area recently. This is the best tennis team in the school's history, and for someone like her to be pushed to this limit, that says something. And she was exhausted. I mean, it was hot out there. Even from what she said, she seemed gassed when it was all said and done, but she did it for her team.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And we've talked how many times on the show about athletes that overcome adversity. It's one of the reasons we watch sports, and Lily's body language wasn't very good. I mean, she'd be the first person to admit that during the whole match, and somehow, some way, she was able to, she had leads in both the first and second sets, and the girl from North Pocono was able to come back both times and put Lily on the brink. I mean, the girl was 1 game away from ending the Lady Cougar title hopes, and Lily reached deep within her and was able to pull out a game to tie the second set and then win it in the tiebreaker. And then she really looked good, got a second wind after a little break before the third set. Third set, she played her game more, and the fatigue and heat got to the best of both players, but Lily was able to survive, and so was Hazelton area.
And Dave, it was raining Schuylkill League division titles yesterday in cross country, and it was pouring, and they got all those meets in. They were like, let's get this done. We have the league meet next weekend. Monoy area, the boys, they topped the division, Schuylkill League Division 2, Dave. It is their 4th time in a row they will take that championship. North Schuylkill, they win it for the 3rd time, the Schuylkill League Division 1 championship. The Tamaqua girls, they clinched it last week, Dave. I think that's their 4th straight. And Marion and Monoy area, the girls, they will split the division championship. We'll see what happens next week. And check out, there's a picture of Cole Streisel from Monoy area in the rain yesterday that was featured in the Standard Speaker. His brother Willie, also very talented. They'll be at the championships too. Dave, your Dodgers have been hanging out waiting to see who they're going to play in the NLCS. You should be very confident as a Dodger fan. You seem like you are. But who do you think it's going to be? Joe Maddon's team has to go to that Game 5 against the Nationals this evening.
I just sense something missing from the Cubs this year. It's just, it just seems like the games that they win, it's like that they're winning by the narrowest of margins, which shows a lot about their character and their wherewithal. They've been there before. But something just tells me that it's just the Nationals' year to get past this first round and then be the matchup for the Dodgers.
And Dave, I think Yankees fans would throw something at the TV since I talk about the Red Sox every time they sneeze, but this is huge. I mean, New York to come this year, we keep talking about, maybe this team was a few years away. We were talking about that with the Rail Riders. They're here now in the ALCS, Dave, and what a comeback. CC Sabathia, we talk about, he has a night to keep the Yankees in there. And really, if they could get the starting pitching, Dave, they have that talented bullpen, and they have a lineup that could knock you out fast or come back very quickly.
Yeah, and they're going to be playing in a ballpark in Houston, where they can hit the ball a little bit. In Houston, I think there's going to be a lot of slugfest in that game. It's going to come down to which team pitches better from the starting perspective anyway.
Dave, thank you so much for this week. Check out his work in the Standard Speaker, and we'll keep you up to date on local sports here too on SSPTV News.